When she finally stepped into the hall, eyes turned towards her, whispers of admiration floating around, but her gaze found only him, waiting at the altar, dark suit sharp against him. His eyes locked on her with the same burning intensity that had followed her all these years. The ceremony was a blur of colors, music, and whispered blessings. Guests smiled, families beamed, and cameras flashed, but she barely noticed any of it. Her eyes kept finding his. He never once looked away. When the priest blessed them, when their hands touched during the exchange, she felt a tremor run through her. His grip was firm, grounding, and underneath it something smoldered, a devotion almost frightening in its intensity. When the priest declared them husband and wife and asked them to kiss, he didn't rush to pull her close like others did. Instead, he leaned forward slowly, his hand cupping her cheeks gently, and sealed their vows with a forehead kiss. A simple kiss, yet it carried everything: respect, promise, devotion. Her heart fluttered at that moment. No grand words, no dramatic gestures, just a man who felt safe. By the time the rituals ended and the crowd cheered, she felt drained, excited, terrified. The night when the last guest had gone and the doors finally closed behind them, she sat nervously at the edge of the bridal bed. Her wedding dress had been changed to a night silky gown, her hair falling loose over her shoulders. Her fingers twisted the fabric nervously. The door clicked. He entered quietly, not longer in his suit, but a simple shirt with loosened buttons and the sleeves are folded at his forearms. He closed the door behind him and stood there for a moment, just watching her. Her breath caught. He walked forward slowly, each step heavy with silence. When she reached her, he crouched down, leveling his gaze with us. "You're trembling," he said softly. I. She faltered, looking down. I don't know what to say. For the first time that day, his expression softened. He reached out, gently took her hand, his thumb brushing over her knuckles. "You don't need to say anything. Not tonight." Her head snapped up, surprised. "I have waited years for this moment." He continued, his voice slow, steady. "But I don't want to rush you. I'll wait until you're ready. Whether it's tomorrow or months from now, you'll come to me when your heart does." Her chest tightened, her throat burning with something she couldn't name. Relief, guilt, warmth, all tangled together. "Why?" she whispered. His lips curled faintly, his eyes burned with honesty. "Because you have always been mine, even before this marriage, and I'd rather wait forever than break what I have protected for so long." The confession left her breathless for a moment. Silence filled the room, heavy and intimate. Then, almost shyly, she leaned forward just enough for her forehead to touch his. He closed his eyes, drawing in a slow breath, as though that small gesture meant more to him than anything else in the world. That night, they didn't cross the boundary of desire. Instead, they lay side by side, her head resting continuously against his shoulder. And though her nerves hadn't left her, she slept more soundly than she expected, wrapped in the safety of a man who had loved her long before she even knew it. The sunlight slipped into the room, warm against his closed eyes. She stared first, blinking as her cheeks brushed against the firm fabric of his shirt. Her heart leapt. She had fallen asleep on his shoulder. Carefully, she shifted to sit up, hoping not to wake him. But before she could move away, his voice came low and amused. "Running away already?" She froze, heat rushing to her face. I wasn't." He opened his eyes slowly, a lazy smile curving his lips. "You're blushing." "I'm not," she muttered, pulling the blanket up to hide her face. He leaned closer, lowering his voice to a whisper. "You were so brave last night, resting against me, and now you can't even look at me." Her blush deepened and she pushed his shoulder weakly. "You're impossible." He caught her wrist easily, his thumb brushing over her pulse. "Impossible or irresistible?" She gasped, glaring at him, but his grin only widened. Then, as she scrambled off the bed, muttering about breakfast, he called her smoothly. "Don't trip. I don't want my wife limping on a second day of a marriage." She spun back to glare him, flustered while he laughed quietly, the sound deep and rich, and though she tried to stay annoyed, her lips betrayed her curving into a small smile. By the end of the first month, she had grown used to his presence, his laughter filling the mornings, his quiet care in the evening, and his subtle touches that left her heart racing long after. And though he hadn't made a move, she began to realize something unsettling. It wasn't just that she was getting used to him, she was starting to miss his little touches. That evening, the air was thick with unspoken tension. His parents had come over unannounced, carrying fruits and neatly wrapped box, as though it were a casual visit, but their eyes searched too much. When his mother looked around and asked lightly, "So, where is the bedroom?" her stomach twisted, and when she accidentally glanced towards her room across the hall, both parents exchanged the tiniest knowing glance. "You mean to say," her mother cleared her throat, "you two haven't?" Her face flamed crimson, and she nearly dropped the teacup in her hands. "No, no, it's not like that." But before she could explain, her husband spoke smoothly, his arm settling around her shoulders, possessive but calm. "Don't worry, we are taking things at our pace." I should have ended there, but his mother chuckled softly, eyes sparkling. "Still, we can't wait to see our grandson. We too would have a beautiful baby." The words hung in air like a spark. Her heart raced, not from the comment, but from the silent heat radiating from the man beside her. He didn't say anything, only smiled politely. She flustered and cornered, blurted the first thing that came to her mind, half teasing, half defensive. "Well, your son is the one who keeps saying he wants more time." The silence that followed way defending. His parents laughed lightly, dismissing it as a shy newlywed banter. And soon enough they had excused themselves, promising to visit again. The moment the door clicked shut, the atmosphere shifted. She turned, ready to sigh in relief, but froze. He was staring at her like a predator. His eyes were no longer polite, no longer patient. They were dark, burning with intensity. "You." His voice was low, dangerously steady. "Do you have any idea what you just said?" Her lips parted, but no sound came out. She had never seen him look like this, controlled, yes, but just barely, like a volcano about to burst. He stepped closer, crowding her against the wall. His hand braced beside her, caging her. "For 1 month," he whispered, his breath hot against her ear, "I have held myself back. Every night I have let you sleep peacefully while I burned alive next to you." And tonight, his gaze dropped to her lips. Her knees weakened. He pressed a trembling hand against his shut. I didn't mean to." "You did." He cut her off, his tone firm, almost obsessive. "And now I'm done waiting." The air between them crackled. He wasn't asking anymore. The patience was gone, and as his lips finally claimed hers, she realized her teasing had just awakened the very storm he had been restraining for weeks. their lips met, the world outside disappeared. The teasing, the laughter, the faint scent of her parents' exit all vanished into the shadows of the room. He pressed closer, one hand curling around her waist, the other cradling her head, tilting it. I have waited, he murmured against her lips, voice husky. For every touch, for every glance, for every moment with you. And you still caught her lower lip gently and then released. You tempt me even after all this. You did, he whispered, trailing kisses along her jaw and down her neck, and now it's mine to take. Threatening, they weren't cruel. Finally, they collapsed together on the bed, tangled in each other.